Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Remember and Rise, where I give you tools to help you integrate the divine human that you came here to be and bring on experts like the woman that we have today, the lovely Jodi Geline. Jodi is a medical intuitive. She helps people to get to the root of their issue. She is also the creator and founder of the flat stomach method. Thank you so much for being here, Jodi. Um, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How are
Good,
you?
excellent. Yeah, really good. Getting ready for the holidays, and like as we were saying, just really getting ready to stop actually and just rest and restore because we all need that time, don't we? We really do.
hmm
But I'm so interested in your work. I've got so many questions for you. But do you want to just give us a quick overview of how you help your clients?
Yeah. So I help them with the root emotional cause of their physical symptoms because the body is always speaking to you. And if you've got symptoms, there's some trapped energy in there. And we don't learn that, hey, our body is speaking to us. So it's a sign there is something deeper, an unhealed wound to heal. That's the type of work that I do with people. So they can
Perfect.
feel great, give them freedom in their body. I mean, that's really the key, right? We want to feel free and light and feel great in our body.
Yes, absolutely.
Mhm.
I'd like to talk to you about the medical intuitive side of you. So, what is your process? How do you help your clients to get to their emotional root, the energetic root of their issue, Jodie?
Yeah. So what I do is I ask them questions, I guide them into their body because that's where your subconscious lives is in the body,
Yeah. Hmm.
as you know. And so it's like going in there and I can as I'm guiding them and asking questions, I'm right there with them. Like I can feel what's going on for
Yeah.
them. I'll feel where it is. If maybe we hit it or not quite. And then it's like, oh yeah, that's it. Like I can tell because I can literally
Yeah.
feel the emotions coming up in my body that their body is wanting to release. So yeah, so it's going in there, finding the root and being able to release that because that is the trapped energy that's wanting, like we were saying, to be seen,
Yeah.
heard, felt,
Yeah.
in order to be released. Because the key is releasing it. It's energy.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And you cannot release it if you don't know it's there. And so many times we get physical symptoms and we just treat the physical, we just treat the physicality. And there's so much more to us. We're
hmm
mental, physical, emotional, and energetic
Yeah.
spiritual beings. And so that's where your work is really quite transformative. It doesn't just deal with the physical, it deals with the energetic and the emotional. It's actually really similar to the way that I work. I'm
hmm
interested as to when that started for you. When were you able to tune into someone's field? Because we're all connected, aren't we? It's like you
Yes.
and I look separate just now, but there's like this gorgeous field of energy in between us. And when you're in that state, that's when you're able to access someone else's field with permission, of course. It's not like you're diagnosing people in the street. You need
No.
to be you need to be in a particular space. So when did
Yes.
that journey start for you? Were you always spiritual? Were you always intuitive? Tell us more about that.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I'm very sensitive to energy, just growing up in a home with a lot of trauma. And it's like, there's a lot there that you end up, feeling. And so it wasn't until I've always worked on myself. So like literally since I was 22, I've been into health and self-development and always working on healing my trauma. But it wasn't until years later that I ended up looking 9 months pregnant for 19 years of my life. And I was trying to figure out how to heal it. And I know health. And I was like, what is going on? I know health. How do I do this?
Yeah.
And I understood here that emotions affect the body, right? Stress. We all
Yeah.
know this.
Yeah.
But that doesn't, that is there's a whole different energy of knowing something and really like the embodiment of it. So it wasn't until I ended up healing some really deep wounds that I had that all of a sudden my stomach went from looking 9 months pregnant to a flat stomach. And I was like, what just happened? And it was like this light bulb moment that I went, oh my God, it was emotional. My body's been speaking to me this whole time and I had no idea. So, and that was like at the time I was starting to understand more spiritual because I shouldn't say understand. I went through a dark night of the soul kind of thing, at the same time. And as I was healing my deeper trauma, and I started to see like energy. I would go, what is that? I'd be seeing things. I'd have like the room would fill with like, I guess I can describe it as like dry ice type of smoked, and I would be like, wow, this is really
That's
cool. But I don't know what's
incredible.
happening. And then I'm seeing purple everywhere, like you'll just see purple. It's hard to explain, but I'll
No,
just see purple.
mhm.
Yeah, you get it,
I
right? But
do get it. Yes.
and I looked up online and I couldn't find anything and I didn't know what was going on. I look at the sky and I don't see a sky. I see a whole matrix of activity going on. It's all I see all the energy and it's that yeah, just a whole bunch of stuff like that. I have orbs flying around in my videos. And I'm going, what's happening? And yeah, and it's like my third eye opened, is what I surmised, from everything going on. Um, so that's when it all started. And
Wow.
then, yeah, so then it was like, okay, I'm working with clients. And then at first you're like, I can feel this. I know that, right? Then you start questioning, is this for real? And
Yeah,
then
the
I just
brain.
started trusting and just started asking, hey, where do you feel this? And it's like, oh, that's exactly where I'm feeling, and then you start getting better and better at it. But the biggest thing is trusting yourself. I feel like that was my like, okay. And now I'm
Yes.
going, okay, this might sound weird, but this is what I'm
Yeah.
getting.
Uh-huh.
And then it always
Absolutely.
leads to something.
I think you nailed it there. It's very like when you work intuitively with someone and you're seeing, like we were talking about, like I saw a ball of wool in a person's liver, and I've been doing this long enough now that I'm like, right, I do absolutely trust this, but that is a
Hmm.
process, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Really letting the mind, taking the mind out of it and just really going to the heart
Yes.
and the soul of it and trusting that what you trusting your gifts, owning and
Hmm.
trusting your gifts. How did you ground yourself during that process? Did you have mentors or were you on your own when this dry ice? I loved that, Jodi.
I was on my own. I had nobody.
Oh, when I was awakening, and I had saw that white light. I remember like just when you were looking up there, I remember that time where you're like, what is going on here? Like I was the only one in my family to have remotely had any experiences like that. And I remember sitting on a beach, and just complete awe of what was happening to me. And I remember being shown in my third eye, like to me it looked like clouds, but I liked how you said dry ice. So it was like clouds, dry ice, whatever, and it was like everything was made of that, and humans themselves. And I was shown like astronaut suits. So it's like the field in between and we're the gorgeous astronaut suits. So I just loved that you had that
Yeah.
same experience. It's
Yeah.
so gorgeous to speak to someone who's had the same experiences.
Yeah, because it's pretty rare. I mean, at least, I mean, I ask people, I'm like, hey, do you see this? Do you see this? I can see, like I have seen it's been a bit, but like the floor floating, like I can see the
Mhm.
pixelation of things sometimes.
Mhm. Yeah,
Um, so
yeah,
yeah, and I'm shown things when I'm like I'll be like maybe meditating and my eyes closed, and all of a sudden I'll see these things that are shown to me, and they're very clear. They're as
yeah,
vivid as I see you, you
yeah.
know.
It's such a gift, and that's the thing. So, what was the process for you of you owning that gift and trusting that what you were seeing for your clients was what was going on for them?
Yeah, it pretty much was just like I said, trusting and just being brave enough to say something, because you don't want to
Yeah,
look, stupid or like weird or, you know what I mean?
like
Like we
crazy.
go through this in life, we don't want to look weird, even though I've done that many times in my life, but I swear, because I feel like I'm so different, but
Oh, I think we
yeah,
all do. I
yeah,
genuinely, I
right.
was talking to a friend today, and it's like, it seems to be our path, doesn't it? To just really feel. I was about to say stick out like sore thumbs, and actually, I really do in my family, so I don't know if you do. And
Oh yeah. Why are you
yeah,
this way? Why can't you be like everybody else?
yeah, it's like you, like my family will say, "Oh, you aware of your awareness? Why are you so aware of your awareness?" And it's like for such a long time. That felt like a curse. That absolutely, the fact that like I can't watch violent films, it's like a bomb going off in my field. It's just not for me at
Mm.
all. And it's like you're so aware of your awareness. And it wasn't until I got older, I did all my training, and I realized that that sensitivity that I have, that empathic ability that I have, is what makes me an excellent healing facilitator and
Yeah.
therapist. And that is when we get to own our gifts.
Yeah. Yeah. Using them the way, I mean, yeah, using them, right? Instead of holding it in, because it doesn't
Aha.
help anyone to do that.
Completely,
Yeah.
completely. And you're not helping anyone. We're not being of service if we're so caught up in the fact that we're so different, and we're
Hmm.
just like planted in a family that you're like, how did I land? How did I land
Right.
here?
Night and day. I know it's not easy. This whole journey has been hard.
It
Like,
really
it's like, don't you feel like you're just climbing out all the time? It's
Oh
like,
my
oh,
goodness. And I was talking to someone, I was talking to Molly Kleisch, and we were talking about the dark night of the soul. And I'm like, but it's not singular. The dark night of the soul is an ongoing process because it's like the death of the ego every single time you
yeah.
go into this dark process. But wow, you come out so much stronger for what you've
Hmm.
been through. And it gives you it gives us the empathy and the understanding to work with our clients.
Huge, huge, because like, wouldn't you say you had someone that you were working with, wouldn't you want to work with somebody that has been through it and they know and they've experienced, like, it is huge. It's
Yeah,
huge because
completely.
you reading it out of a book it's not gonna
No,
tell you, right? It's
no,
just a whole different
no.
experience.
I remember asking my teachers, so I was going through my yoga training at the time, and I was just so full of questions, Jodie, like so full of questions, because we weren't allowed to do yoga and meditation in my upbringing. And they would always say, "You are so much more than the physical body." And I'd be like, what does that mean? Like,
Yeah,
those are just like a jumble of words that I've made into a sentence, but what do you actually mean? And they never gave me an answer.
yeah.
They never gave me an answer. And I was tenacious, and they never gave me the answer. And now I know why. Because if they had said to me, you're a being of light in a physical astronaut suit, it would not have landed the
Like you're
same
crazy.
way it did when I saw it, when I felt it, when I experienced it.
Mhm.
And I would imagine that you feel the same.
Yeah. Well, even like with my belly, like saying the knowledge, right? Oh yeah, emotions. I have people saying, "Oh yeah, I know my emotions affect me." It's like, no, you don't get how
Mm-mm.
freaking deep this is. They really, really,
Uh-huh.
really are in your body and living there and wanting you to see them and feel them and yeah, get in where they're buried, buried, buried deep in the cells. Like it's huge. It's everything. It's huge.
Completely, because what we don't realize is everything is energy. We were just never taught that. So
No.
words are energy. Like it's
Yes. I
when you
s-
found it, say that again.
Go ahead.
It's
I'll tell you
ice.
something.
No, tell me.
No,
Go, go, go.
I see, I can see, not all the time, like in this moment, I can't. But if I tuned in, I probably could. But
Okay.
I see the energy of words coming out of my mouth.
That is
Yeah. So
fantastic.
so I know, right? Because I can
Yeah.
literally see it. Yeah.
Oh, amazing. I remember working with this, reminds me of working with someone and this analogy coming into my head. And I remember because I do get like metaphors for people, like particular bespoke processes
Mm,
for whoever I've got in front of me. And the analogy, the vision that came into my head was you go, if you were in a room and someone was throwing like rotten vegetables at you and there was like a glass perspex, there was a glass shield there, what would you
yeah.
do? And they were like, well, I'd dive behind it. I'm like, that's what words are. Like, that is what, like, negativity. If someone's shouting at you, what do you do? And they'll say, well, I'll kind of like retreat back. And I'm like, why? If it's just words, you know? So we don't
Your
realize.
body knows. Yeah,
Yeah,
your body knows.
exactly. It's like I can see this sharp ice coming towards me. I'm going to dive back. Oh, that's incredible. It's so lovely to have someone who has had the same experiences and can see so clearly. Um, I'm interested in your. I watched one of your videos and you were talking about you helped heal your heart. Can you talk a wee bit about that, given that we're talking about how deep the emotions go and how
Yeah.
that creates physical illness in the body?
Mm-hmm. So like now I can go back and I can look and see, oh wow, I developed heart issues in my 20s. My heart like would pound super fast. And it's hard to tell the story only that I think people are going to think, well, why wouldn't you say anything? Why wouldn't you say anything? So I lived that way for 10 years. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
tell anyone. But the reason is I learned you don't speak. You don't speak. You don't tell people how you feel because that apparently was dangerous. I've blocked out 95% of my childhood. So I still don't really remember. And you can
Okay.
heal, right? You don't have to remember everything. You
Yes.
can still heal.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like there must have been something in there where I had such a fear of speaking up. So I didn't tell anybody. I just was dealing with it, but my heart would pound so hard. Like I would hold like maybe papers or, I'll just grab this paper and I'll be like, walking like this and you can see it pounding. And I was like trying to hide it from people.
Oh.
Um, but anyway, so my average heart rate was 213 beats a minute all the time. It wasn't like it slowed down. That was the average. I mean, it'd be 240, like that. But anyway, I can look back now and go, well, of course I had heart issues. My heart was broken as a child. So yeah, it's literal, right? Things are literal when you
Yeah.
really go in there.
Yeah.
So my heart just couldn't function anymore, because it was so painful my childhood. So then it comes out later in life. And then when I mentioned the digestion, I would I would hold my breath so I wouldn't cry. So nobody would know how I felt. So here I am stuffing, holding my breath. What is that doing? You're shoving it down. Of
Completely.
course it's going to come out in my belly too,
Yes.
even
Ah,
years after the heart stuff. That's when that started. So yeah, so it's like it
yeah.
it's
It
all
goes deep.
literal. Yeah, it is literal.
It
And
goes it goes so deep.
yeah. And maybe you think I've had people go, "Well, I didn't have that much, many things going on." But everyone has things. It could
Yes.
seem minor, but it's what you made it mean.
Uh-huh.
That is the key. You
That
might have
is,
made it mean they don't love me. And boy, you live your life out like nobody loves me. And it won't go away until you deal with it. And I tell people it's like you think you're going to get away with not dealing with it. Your symptoms will get worse in that area or they'll show up somewhere else. It's inevitable. It's
hmm
inevitable. This because this is
yeah,
how the body's designed
yeah,
to show you where you need to heal your unhealed wounds.
completely. You never
Yeah.
get away with it. We were talking, I was with
No.
my friends last night and somebody was talking about therapy and they were saying therapy is just like going into a cupboard where everything's jumbled up and you bring it out and you tidy it up neatly and you put it back in the cupboard. And I'm like,
Mhm.
yeah, there's definitely an element of that, but the gold in therapy and healing is that when you take it out and you look at it and that's how it heals. You can't heal it if you cannot see it. And if you
Mhm.
have, as you said, God love you, shut away 95% of your childhood. And that's a survival mechanism. That's
Yes.
completely a survival mechanism. I remember when I did my shadow work last year, not thinking that I would ever open that door, to be honest.
Mm.
And the memories that I had repressed were absolutely incredible. So it's no wonder that I have asthma. It's no wonder that I have particular issues in life and not just health issues, like the way we behave is
Mhm.
completely derived from our conditioning and our beliefs and what we made it mean. And you're right, that is the key.
Yeah. Yep. Hmm.
That is the key. So
Yeah.
tell me, what is your why now? Why do you do what you do for other people? I mean, I
Mm.
can tell, but if you could just tell
It's
us.
just thinking this makes my eyes water. um, I know what it's like. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to go through that trauma. I know what it's like to not love yourself. I know what it's like to feel like you're damaged goods or a piece of dirt or people treat you that way, right? This is your interpretation, at
Yes.
least it was mine.
Yeah.
I know what it's like. And I know what it's like to overcome it. I know what it's like to be on the other side of it. So it's again, you can't just ignore it. It's there. So I know that it drives me crazy how ill people are. I was going to say sick, ill, like ill health, physical
Yeah.
symptoms.
Mhm.
Everybody has health issues. It should never be that way. It should never be that way. And what we're doing isn't working, but yet people keep doing it over and over. And I just don't get it. I mean, I know that's what we're taught, but it's like you're putting a band-aid on something, but you're never getting to the root. You've got to get
Yeah.
to the root to
Yeah.
fix it. It's
Yeah.
like, it's frustrating because I can see it everywhere that people aren't doing that and they're not taught that. And, you know, that, and then they are getting unhealthier and unhealthier. And I don't think that because you're getting older, you should be unhealthy. No. And plus, I mean, it's not even that way anymore. Like people in their 20s, 30s, teens, they're ill.
hmm
They
Yeah.
have ill health.
Yeah.
It's epidemic. And one out of two people dying of heart disease and one out of three having cancer. And that's an old statistic. I'm sure it's much worse now. That's not health. It's just not health. There's so much more you can do to get health in your body.
It takes so much courage to go to that depth, though. It doesn't it? It takes courage to look at a physical issue and intuitively feel that there's something more. So,
Yeah.
what would you say to someone that was listening just now that's had chronic health issues, bloating, asthma, anything in their physical vessel? What would you say to them just now if anyone's
That you
listening?
can heal it. Yeah. This is your body telling you, hey, there's something unhealed here. and it's not like you've got to hash every, we know, right? You don't have to hash every little detail of
No.
things. That's not how it is. So sometimes fear can get in the way of that, but you can heal it. You don't have to live this way. You think you do, maybe. I mean, I was when I had my big bloating, I'm like, I'm figuring this out. Like I did everything. I never gave up. So never give up
Yeah.
because that is where the answers are. If you give up, then you're just, you're giving in and you're not going to feel good. And that's no fun. Who wants that? It takes the
No.
joy out of life. You don't do things because the symptoms control your life. Why live that way? You don't have to.
Absolutely. And I would add that um, if you are feeling that you want to go and see someone, because this was my experience recently with someone, the women in the ball of wool, it was this shame and anger. And it was 20 years old, Jodi, and the physical symptoms that was coming with that. But the fact that she saw me speak somewhere, decided to come along, that's the higher self, that's the intelligent self going, it's time. And so, like we're saying, you don't have to hash into the background of it, not all the time. Sometimes it just takes listening to a conversation like this, and that's the higher self, the divine self saying, it's time. This can go, and it can go gently. And I would definitely add that when you work at an energetic level and not
Mm.
just the mental level, definitely in my experience working with clients, that speeds up the process exponentially.
Yes. Yep. And it is a balance. And you do not a balance, but you do both. Because if you don't learn how to, like you were saying earlier, talk to yourself, I was talking about words coming out of my mouth,
Yeah, yeah,
or the energy.
yes.
If you're beating yourself up, that's not that energy goes in your body that fast,
Uh-huh.
that fast. Yeah, like literally immediately. Think of when you have like butterflies in your belly. Maybe you're dating and this cute guy knocks on your door and you're like, ooh,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
you feel
Uh-huh.
it right away in your body. That's not, there's no butterflies in your belly. That's
No.
your mind. Like
Yeah.
it's
That's
that feeling.
yeah, that's such a good grounded example of how energy manifests in your body. I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So tell me, what would you say to your younger self now?
Mm, God. I you're gonna you're gonna figure this out one day and you're gonna find the love of your life, which I have 6 months
Oh,
ago, my soulmate. Yeah. And you will be loved. You will feel love. Um, and yeah, you'll get past this. And
oh,
I'll be here as the adult supporting you through this. Yeah.
that's so gorgeous.
Yeah.
Thank
Mm.
you so much for sharing your story with us. Thank you for being so vulnerable and authentic here. How do people get in touch with you if they're listening and they're thinking, wow, I want to work with someone who can also see what's going on in my body? How do they get in touch with you, Jodi?
So I do have, if you go to my website, it's PEACE of my heart.net/quiz. You'll probably put it in
Okay.
the show notes.
Yes.
That will tell you what emotions are affecting you because you're probably thinking, well, I don't know. Are they? What do I do? What emotions are affecting me? What to do with those emotions so you can heal and feel that freedom in your body, like I was saying at the beginning, in feeling light and free, because it's not good to be feeling this all the time. So, what emotions are affecting me? I talk about what's actually going on with you. People are like, wow, you really know me. I'm like, yeah, I am you. I was you. I get it. So, what it is a quiz to figure out your type.
Okay,
So,
fantastic.
yeah.
So we
Yeah.
will definitely put that in the show notes. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
It's been a gorgeous conversation.
Yes, it was wonderful.
And yes, I'll put everything in the show notes, everybody. Please let us know if this has resonated with you, if you're having these issues, and you can reach out to myself or Jodi, and we will see you again next time. Sending you so much love. Thank you.
Bye.